Good morning, Amelia. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
Yes, I'm feeling awesome. I love you. I love your segments. I love everything about you. Can we all just give Amelia a round of applause because she's so great? Make some noise. Make some noise. Woo!
Thank you so much, Amelia.
Yes, yes. And it's wild because, yes, I love the crowd roaring. Even though you weren't talking to me when you were answering other people's questions, I love, that's a great thing about group coaching or group speaking. It's so poured into me and helped me a lot. So thank you again for that.
Oh, I adore you. You have a great segment.
All right, thank you. Good morning, champions. We're going to do a quick little reset right here. If you didn't know, you are here live in Breakfast with Champions. I am Tina, also known as Stars Tina, feeling supercharged today on this Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. And if you want to get behind the scenes or see my face, you can jump on to my social media. I'm here on Instagram. Good morning, Instagram. I'm here in Tampa, Florida in my studio. Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Welcome, welcome. But I love to start every segment with saying good morning to the peeps in the building. I see Gentleman Jack over there on Instagram, here in YouTube. Clubhouse. Clubhouse, we got a lot of red ticketers. Welcome, red ticket. What does that mean? That means you have not joined our family yet. So, to the people down there, I see Ava, Top, Jahan, Okin, Farhash, Lala, Seema, Lois, T, Asign, Sadiqwa, Michael, Martina, Jojo, Priscilla, Amelia, Rasul. Welcome to our family. Join the building. When you come into this space, you're going to get all the motivation, education, inspiration when it comes to your money, your finances, your relationships, you name it, we're going to take care of it. And I also want to say hello to Rachel, Lavender, Ree, William, Erica Perez. Welcome to the building, Erica. I see Hannah, Aluswa, Cody. And if I'm botching up your name, please forgive me. Cody, Messiah, Sweet, MS, October, Manila, Farah, Keith. We're rocking here today. Lilith, Linda, Vay, Fiona, Lisa, Atlas got her hand up. You coming up on stage, girlfriend? Everyone has a seat at the table. Liz, Dr. Frey, I have to open it up. Dr. EP, big night. Good morning, girlfriend. I loved your Instagram. I went there the other day. I see Kathy in the building. Mrs. Christine, welcome to the building. Queen, Migdalia, Ninda, Mike, Tamara, Z, Renee. I didn't realize we had this many people. Renee, Dawood, Edith, Ashley, April, Dr. Reggie, Vincent, Sister Chris. Did you guys know that everybody has a seat at the table? So whether you're in the listening lounge or whatever, you can come on up to the stage. I know some people are on their way to work. Some people are at work. So I just want to, first of all, say thank you for being here. And I'm going to make sure that you're going to get uplifted and learn some stuff in today's segment. Let me continue with the good mornings. Up here on the stage, ready to unmic and speak and give their education, we have Aiden. Good morning, Aiden. We have Marla. We have my mother, Hattie, in the building. I see Terry. I see Cobbs. I see Ishman. I see Tiffany, Jasmine, Dr. Lawanda, Leslie, Judy, Gail, Renee, Favor. Thank you for bringing me up to the stage, Maria. I love that right there. Patty, and of course, Ramon in the building. And my girl Trisha and her husband are always here. That took about 2 to 3 minutes, but that's okay because you are that important. So I am Tina. I am that coach that's going to take you from good, great to amazing. First, I just want to know, can you guys hear me loud and clear in the clubhouse streets? Unmic, make some noise if you can hear me in the clubhouse streets.
We can hear you, baby. Got you, girl. Hear you, girl.
Yes. Are you guys ready for some juicy content today? I hope some of you are able to participate because today's topic is all about group participation. If you're on Instagram, you can hear me make some noise, and the other platforms, go for it. But today, we're going to be talking about 3 topics. But the one main topic we're going to talk about is habit change. Habit change. Type in the chat right now, habit change. And I'm doing this topic for various reasons. First of all, I have to give credit to the ideas and some of the content from this topic today is from my pastor, Pastor Christopher. I go to Crossover Church in Tampa, Florida. And a lot of my Sunday services, they just download, they pour into me so deeply. I have to keep them going through the week. And he was talking about habit change. And I love anything that's going to grow my mind, my body, and my soul. Now I'm trying to get this thing. I'm trying to look at your notes here in Clubhouse. If I can okay, I figured it out. Thank you. Sister Girl, Sweet, Gail, Aiden. Thank you for the habit change because that's what today is about. Now, when it comes to habit change, there's 3 topics we're going to talk about today, and I need 3 volunteers if you want, right? If you want. There's no pressure. The first topic we're going to be talking about is fitness. Why? Because fitness is my passion. That is my thing. I am an expert, and I can say that with so much confidence today because I have gone up, I have gone down, I've failed, I've won. And you know the saying all the time, right? If you fail, if you can look up, you can get up. And I've done that in my fitness journey when I've been doing this for over a decade now. And being a woman of a certain age, 53, if I want to be exact, I've learned so many things, especially when it comes to that premenopause, or you think it's menopause, but it's not, right? So when it comes to fitness for women, we're going to be talking about fitness. We're also going to be talking about relationships, because for me, that's so important because I have so many different types of relationships in my life. And the third topic we're going to be talking about is money, 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 money. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with fitness, but before we get into it, let's talk about habit change. I want to hear, and thank you, Renee, in the chat for putting in the topics in there. I want to hear from you on stage. When you think of habits, what are some, I'm going to call them myths? And again, giving kudos to my pastor, Christopher, for inspiring this talk today. When it comes to habit change, what are some myths that you've heard that you think are true, but they're not really true? Unmic and go for it. Anyone have any?
It takes 21 days to change a habit.
Oh, who said that?
Marla.
Marla, girl, do you know, girl, that's one of my tips. I want you to just tell us a little bit about you, Marla, and how you came up with that concept.
So I'm a psych major, so I love all things in neuroscience. So I like all things about the brain. So yeah, that's my thing, girl.
Okay, but Marla, everyone says, hello, Renee Noor in the building. We love Renee Noor. She was one of my, I don't know if she's here, but I did see her name pop up. So Marla, we hear it all the time, right? It takes 21 days to stop smoking, to get on the right health path. Why doesn't that work? Talk to us about that.
Girl, because we, like resolutions, we try to do a thing and we'll practice and we'll say we're going to, go to the gym. And we do that the first 3 weeks of January. And then we're like, yeah, okay, that was fun. But it's not really a change because we just it's a new thing and we kind of get into this trend, but we're not really serious. It's not really a mind shift for real. So you tell us. I don't know, but I do it every year.
I love it.
I'm confessing.
It's good. Anyone else want to give their thoughts on this 21-day change? Do they believe it? Has it happened for anyone, right? Talk to me about that. One more person. I want to hear your thoughts on 21-day change. Is it true? Can you do it?
You can, in increments.
Talk to me about that.
You gotta do it a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. You gotta. Once you feel like you're in a rhythm with one thing, then atomic habits, guys. I didn't make this up, right? Once you've already built that one habit, right, and you built it, you want to know how? It just happens without thinking. Like when you change lanes on the road, and then you add something else. You're already in the rhythm, then add something else. I've posted. I have a Post-it with my schedule, what I want to do in the morning. And when I forget, I have to remember to remember. And the only way I can do that is going back to my Post-it. So right now, I have like a bunch of vitamins I'm taking, right? And I'm going to add creatine to the mix. But I'm not ready for it yet. Like, I got to be true to myself. I know I'm not ready for it yet, because sometimes I forget my magnesium at night. So I'm like, I know I'm not ready because I forget my magnesium. If it was really in me, I would not forget. It would be automatic. I'd go right to that cabinet, pull out my magnesium, and take it in without thinking about it. When I start to ask myself, did I do it? And then I realize I did, because I leave little popcorn on the road, right, to find your way back. And I'm like, oh, it's in there. So then I can add something else. So it doesn't happen right away. And we have to be true to ourselves.
I love it. So you see, she started with the yes, but then it's kind of like, no, and I agree with you both. It does not. It would sound good if you could, right? And something that he mentioned, I'm not into neuro-linguistic brain stuff like that, but it made a lot of sense. And for example, if you know that for the past 20 years of your life, you've been waking up at 8 o'clock and we're talking about fitness at this point, and you never exercised at all, and you were on a certain pathway, right? Your brain, your mind, and your body is going down the highway. Think about it. Like when you go to work, if you have the same schedule every day, you're probably going to drive down the same highway, the same roads. Most people do that. So your brain and your body is used to going down that road. Same thing in our brain waves are used to certain things. And in order to change that, it's going to take more than 21 days. If it took you 5 or 10 years to do something, it's going to take you a lot longer than 21 days to break it. So that's one myth right there. Thank you very much for that, Marla. Anyone else have it? And you took one of my myths. I have 3 of them here. Anyone else? What's on mic? Go.
Can you hear me okay, Tina?
Loud and clear.
Hey, this is Ramon. Yeah, I think about whether it's a myth or not sure so much, but I think 21 days is a great, 3 weeks is a great starting point. But I know for me, Tina, talking about my own personal life, as I've, the last 2-3 years, as I've shared with you and others publicly, it's been tough for me, very tough, and it's been tough. But as I've declared, this year is the best year ever and going to be, and already is looking at, so my point getting at, it may take a year or 2 or 3, depending on the challenge, depending on what it is. But I think part of the 21 days or not can be, are you making progress? That's another point. It may not be overnight, it may be progress. And then 2, I think doing with others, going alone is hard, but I think if you're on that track of getting better and better and better, BWC has helped me, talking differently and the affirmations that I've learned and more. So yeah, that's what I think.
What about your fitness? I saw you posting a picture with a weight. I didn't read it, but I saw the picture. How's your fitness journey going with the habit change?
Well, my fitness was, so for me, in fairness to others listening, that wasn't a habit change. I've been doing push-ups and stretches for many, many years. So for me, yes, it's a consistent, continued discipline, meaning I've always been relatively fit, but I'm always adjusting, and sometimes high, sometimes low, but it's still moving forward if that helps. So gym to me is new-ish, going on the treadmill consistently, doing weights consistently because it's cold outside. So that's going very well for me. But in fairness to others listening, kind of cheating because that's not been a weak area of mine. I've relatively done push-ups and stretches for the past 30 years.
Has it ever been a challenge for you?
No.
Okay.
And the reason it's not been a challenge, only why that particular thing hasn't, is because the catalyst driving me, Tina, seeing my father not urinate for 2 weeks, dying in my hand, seeing his huge pot belly, he would do bird baths. And, as a child, you see your parents, washing up and stuff. I was like, I don't know if I want a gut like that. So I have a little drive, and being 53, I like how it feels to be healthy, seeing my peers who are 40 and they're huffing going up a pair of stairs. So
I love it. I love it. And he rolled over that really quickly. We're talking, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about habit change and how it does not take 21 days to actually break a habit. It's a good starting point, but it's not. And the second tip I was going to say is I can just break it. I can just stop it. And what Ramon just mentioned was with his change, it was the why behind it. Right? You can make those changes easier if you have a huge why. His why was because seeing his father, not do good health-wise. Same thing with me, even though mine was before my father's, mine just went even deeper. My father was 49, died from a massive heart attack, which could have been prevented, right? So the first myth is that you can break it in 21 days. Not true. It will come back if you don't stay consistent, if you don't have community. The second myth is all I got to do is stop it. I'm just going to stop eating fried food. I'm just going to stop talking bad, whatever, not true. And then the third way, I have one more, but does anyone else have a comment they want to add on myths that are not true about breaking habits? If so, on mic, go for it. I hear someone.
Good morning, Tina.
Good morning, sunshine. Go for it.
I just think in addition to what was said earlier, in order to eradicate a bad habit, you need to replace it with something. Otherwise, unconsciously, you'll keep going back to that habit. But once you replace that habit over a period of time with a good habit, I think it becomes a part of your being that habit would eventually subside. I'm in the gym, so it's kind of hard to talk in here, but I think just replacing a bad habit with a good habit, no matter what you do, it will eventually eradicate that bad habit. It takes a process, though.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for adding that. And that was another one of my tips, right? Maria mentioned it earlier, an amazing book that I read. It's called Atomic Habits. And I believe one of the tips in it is replacing it with something, right? So the third thing I was going to say is hope it away. Oh, I hope I can lose this weight. Oh, I hope I can get muscles. Oh, please, you pray and you pray and you pray. And people come in all the time, well, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to pray about it. Well, guess what, my friends? You got to do more than just pray about it, okay? You got to take the action no matter what it is in life. You can pray and pray till the cows come home. But if you're not taking daily, consistent action, it's never going to change. So those are the 3 myths I want to change. We're talking about fitness right now. And the first thing you have to do, we're talking about fitness when it comes to habit change. First, like I like to say, is make it clear. What is it exactly you want to do? Of course, we talk about that why all the time. If your why is big, it's going to make you get up in the morning, right? I run an online and in person, so excited about it, fitness holistic center. And the focus, the goal is to empower women, to inspire women to change their bodies from within. On Tuesdays and Thursdays today, I did a trauma-informed yoga class. Oh my gosh, family. I could barely get through class without crying. I'm just like crying and crying and crying and crying. I'm like, girl, get it together, but I'm going to be that most authentic person and let it go. Good morning, Misfit over there on Instagram. So make it clear what you want to do with your fitness and why. We are going to be doing a 4-week challenge. And yesterday I sent the wait list is not, there is a wait list now. The challenge starts February 23rd. So we're putting all the things together, putting people on a wait list because not everyone will be accepted in a part of this challenge for various reasons. One, my daughter is collaborating with me. And when I first started life coaching, her and I together did a life coaching course together, and we're doing this together. And she is so particular and just like, I'm not going to say anal. I love it. She keeps me accountable, right? But the people that come through have to be ready for change. And yesterday I sent out a simple text message. If you got one, great. If you didn't, pretend I'm texting you right now, right? Here's my text message to you. Hey, actually, you know what? I'm going to read the exact text message because I don't want to mess it up, right? It's so important that we do these things right. So the message I sent out to a few people, because I'm not able to hit up everyone, I simply said, I'm putting together a new Elevate 360 fitness and wellness challenge focused on strength, consistency, and community. Registration isn't open yet, but I'm building a wait list. Would you like me to save you a spot? Because it's limited spots for it, right? So I sent this to someone, and one of the responses I got for someone, it was so lovely. She said, save the spot for someone else because I'm lazy. Now, what kind of hog mauled chicken livers is that? Why would a person put negativity on themselves? I am lazy. We know how powerful the words I am, right? Yes, it can be hard. Yes, it can be challenging, especially if you've never done it before, but it can happen. I don't care if you're 35, 45, 25, 85, 65, you can make the change to be healthier, but you got to make it clear. So that's the first thing, make it clear. Second, make it obvious. How do you make it obvious? We're talking about fitness right now. So if you say, I want to be fit, we know nutrition is first, right? What you're eating. So you have to have a nutrition plan, how you're going to eat. Maybe you have an accountability partner. Make it obvious. Stop buying the junk food, right? Stop going to McDonald's. Stop going to White Castles or wherever the heck you're going. I don't know. And say it to your mind. My aunt helped me with this. She's my running coach. And before I did my very first full marathon, she was coaching me. And I love candy. I love chocolate cake, guys. And she would say, Tina, you are a runner now, and runners do not eat that way. And I was like, okay, I guess I can't have that. So in my mind, this was before the marathon because you want to be in the best shape, right? I would say to myself, Tina, you are a runner, and runners do not eat that way. So you can say to yourself, make it clear, make it obvious. I am a fit, healthy person. I do not eat that way. Did you all know that heart disease is the leading cause of death in America? Number one, number uno. And sometimes I think the government or the world or whoever makes these medications or whatever wants the population to come down because we don't need all those medications. All we need to do is stop stuffing our face. I'm getting off on a tangent. I'm sorry. Make it clear, make it obvious, and make it easy. Like Maria said, small little baby steps. If you come out the gate and you've never exercised before, you've exercised a little, and you try to compete with me, I'm telling you right now, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. Just like if I try to compete with someone who's done the Olympics or done something like that, I'm going to fail, right? You have to meet yourself where you are and give yourself grace. I teach cycle classes, body pump classes, yoga classes. And the first thing I say is leave your ego at the door. Do not compare yourself to me. If you've never taken a spin class, there's no freaking way you're going to be able to do what I do on the bike. I've been doing it for over a decade, right? So make it clear, make it obvious. Is there anyone in the listening lounge who would like to unmic and share something they're struggling with in their fitness journey so I can help you make some habit change? If so, unmic and let's go for it. I know we were talking to Aiden last week. And if there isn't anyone who wants to share, I can share a story of my own. But my goal with these segments is to help people. So I'm gonna Miss Hattie with all the people in the background. This is all about fitness. And if she's able to share, this is my mother. And I want to tell you how I made habit change happen for her. She's in her 70s right now. But if you go back to before COVID, Mommy, unmic, are you able to chat with us today or are you on the road? If not, I'll just share her.
I'm in the gym, but I don't know if you're going to pick up the background noise.
Nope, you sound great. Give me 1 second. But yes, you sound great. So we're talking about habit change. My mother's in her 70s now. And before COVID, she was fit. You know how you get like you're fit, then you're not fit, you're fat, then you're not fat. You like go through these ups and downs, right? And there was a point where my mother was super healthy. She was going to the gym. She had a personal trainer. And I remember when she first got her personal trainer, I wasn't mad. I was just like, I believe it was whatever gym she went to was for a whole year that the contract was. And she did it for a whole year. And at first I was a little upset. Like, why are you wasting that money on personal training and blah, 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 when she had me. But then I realized she needed that accountability. She needed the fact that she had to show up every single day. And then she was really fit. And then at one point after COVID, she had gained the weight back. I don't know how. She was on a cane. She couldn't walk on her own. It was hard. And I looked at her, I'm like, what happened? So, COVID was kind of challenging for some people. So I absolutely loved COVID. It was my whole family, well, my small family, my mom, my daughter, and my sister. We were all in my sister's house and we started doing virtual classes. And I was like, Mommy, come do a class with me. So she's on the camera, she's doing the class. And my mother used to teach Silver Stars. That's a class for seniors that the YMCA has. And I say, Mommy, take over. So I would have her teach classes to seniors. That was my way of kind of brainwashing her to do it. Mommy, I'll let you take over from the story from now and bring us to today, how the habit change has worked for you. And this is for any senior. If you're listening, you have a senior that's just still in that movie. Unmic, Mommy, and share a little something about your transformation change.
Yes, she did brainwash me. Between her and my doctors telling me to stop running, find another sport. That was initially how I gained the weight. And Gina wasn't having it. And she made me go walking in the woods with my cane. I thought she'll have sympathy on me. No, she wasn't having it. But then I started feeling good because there's one thing I keep forgetting, even at the age of 72. I feel better once I run, once I fit, once I work out, but I forget that that's what leads me. And even today. So, I start walking and then I forgot my cane one day and Gina said, well, if you forgot your cane, you don't need it. And I was dancing, walking, and then one day I said, I'm going to run. So I ended up running and I was supposed to teach my class and I called Renee and I'm like, Renee, I'm 6 miles from my house. I'm not going to make it. So I taught my class in the woods. I just found a spot and taught my class. So since then, I've just been on this journey, but it's like everyday thing. I have to stay consistent and I have to constantly remind myself to reset myself. And I help out in the community too, but that's for another day. There you go back, Tina.
Yes, thank you for sharing. And I want to share with you guys that when she made this declaration to change her life, she said she was going to do a half marathon. She's from Bermuda. And you know, people say things, right? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Wah, wah, wah. I don't believe it. Show me, don't snow me. You know, I don't believe anything anyone says. So she's telling everyone, I'm going to do the Bermuda half marathon again, because she had done it prior years, but she was the last person. The ambulance was following her to the finish line. She's like, I'm going to finish. And this particular year, she was like, I'm going to do it. I didn't believe her. But then I noticed, guys, every day she was out walking, out running every day. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. Is this woman actually going to do this thing? And as it got closer to the date, I'm like, she's still going. So I didn't want her to do it by herself because I was nervous. And I did the Bermuda half marathon with her. Mommy, can you tell them what you won at the end of the marathon? I'm so proud of you.
What did I win? I won money.
Oh, you
I
did.
won a trophy, and I won my medal, and I won my dignity back. That believe in me and don't listen to somebody because they have a degree, because somebody had to get a C and still got that degree. So believe in me.
I love it. And you won for your age group as well. I love it. All right, family and friends, if you're just tuning in, I'm Tina. We're talking about habit change today. That was our fitness section. As I mentioned, February 23rd, I will be starting a new 4-week challenge. So if you're interested in that, you can just send me a message and I'll put you on the wait list for that. Also, I'm doing a free challenge for anyone here because us women over 40, over 50, we need to lift weights not every day, but more often than not. So on my YouTube channel, I put together a free challenge for this month. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is I Am Stars Tina, the video's up there for today. 2 days a week, I'm putting up strength videos, lower body, upper body, mix, whatever. And after you do the workout, you put a comment in there. And at the end of the month, I'm going to put a little raffle together and I'm giving a prize for someone so they can join our community for free for a month. So if you want to be a part of that challenge, which is free, all free, right? What are you going to get? You're going to get fit. You're going to get fabulous. You're going to get sexy. You're going to get all that great stuff. All right. We are moving on to topic number 2. Welcome, Happy Chica, Rita Red over there on Instagram. So the next topic I want to talk about is money when it comes to habit change. Is there anyone out there, and I'm raising my hand because I don't think I am anymore. In the past, I had issues saving money. I never had issues making money because I'm a hustler, baby, right? I'm from Jersey. Jersey rocks. And my entire life, I've always worked. My parents had a record store when I was a kid in Paterson, New Jersey. It was called Nate the Skate. I don't know how we came up with the name. I'll have to have that conversation with my mom later. But it's wild how our memories remember certain things, right? And my memory is so clear with this record store. It was a record store. And then next to the record store was a movie theater. I would always go and watch Bruce Lee movies there. And they would have shows like Blue Magic, that sort of stuff in the bottom of the hill. I had to run and get cigarettes for my mom. I'm on a tangent right now. But my point is money. Always been working. I remember being behind the cash register and I never just did one thing. I don't know if it was a scarcity mindset, if it was a trauma set or whatever it was, being a single mom, but I always felt like I had to focus and just think about money. And lately what I've been doing is I'm changing my mindset and how I see and think about money. So the first thing you want to do, what do we say? Make it clear. What is your focus? What is your goal? Is your goal to save money? Is your goal to make more money? Is your goal to pay your debt off? Whatever it is, make it clear, whatever it is you want to do. The second thing, make it obvious if you want to change. So if I say I want to save more money, well, how am I going to do it? First of all, am I going to put it in another account? Am I going to open another bank account? Am I going to put it on the mattress? Am I going to have money automatically taken out? What are you going to do? And then make it easy, right? What I did to make it easy for me is I opened up an extra savings account and then I had money just automatically come out of the account. Someone saying, well, girl, I don't have any extra money to, put on the savings and that whole thing. Okay, well, let's just start thinking. Be still and let God put some downloads into your head because he's created you with so much power you can achieve and do anything you want, right? I'm going to give an example and I don't know if she's able to speak or if she wants to speak. One of my clients who takes classes, I've got this special gift where I can talk with someone and kind of see something that's in them and pull it out of them. And one of our girls, she was talking about cooking, Erica, and I said, Erica, why don't you, start making some meals or whatever, because it's something that she wanted to do. And she's in the beginning journeys of building her business. Are you in the building, Erica? She may have gone. I did see her earlier. She may have gone. But pretty much the habit change in regards to that. We're talking about making money, right? Find out something you love to do and then turn it into either a side hustle, an extra business, that dream or goal that you have. Is there anyone who in their life currently or in the past has had some type of change in regards to their finances? And if so, I would love to hear your journey of how you did that. And if not, that's okay as well. I'm scrolling here on stage.
Hey, Tina, good morning. It's Trisha.
Hi, Trisha girl. Thank you for unmiking.
I'll always unmic for you. First of all, I want to say to Miss Hattie, I love her story because I watched her change. I watched her go from just sitting in a chair and walking with her cane to turning around and sharing her story and doing the classes for seniors. Guess what? I'm going to be in her senior class soon.
You're
part of that senior revolution. But I changed. Like, I was that nurse that was making, like the hustler money. Like you said, the hustler money. I could pull a shift anytime I wanted to. And then when I fractured my spine, I couldn't work as a nurse anymore doing the shifts. And I went from, this is crazy, I went from making, six figures to going down to $30,000 a year.
How did that affect you? Because that's a huge difference. Some people kill themselves for stuff like that.
It affected me really bad. I went into a really bad depression. I went to a place where, you can't see yourself being worth anything because you're not contributing. And, you talk about me with my husband all the time. I went to a place where you're fulfilling everything in the house and I'm making this measly $30,000 a year. And for some people, $30,000 is, that's what they make annually and it's what they do. But for me, it was like, oh my God, how did this happen? And it wasn't expected, it wasn't a thing that I planned, obviously.
Right.
But I came here and I started hearing voices here and I started hearing people say you could transfer your talents. You can change the way you think. I couldn't do the physical things, but I could use my mind and I could transfer my abilities to do other things and work with people and show people that you can, make something of yourself that you weren't before. And use your abilities in other ways. And you were one of those people that helped me see that. There's many people that have helped me see that. But I remember a day in St. Petersburg, Florida, where I was standing on the stage and you said to me, why do you think that way? And I was like, my God, that's what I'm projecting to people, that I'm useless. And I swore that day right then and there in Mary Lynn's event, I said to you, Tina, I'm not going to allow that to happen anymore. And it's about a mind shift. It's about saying you're not going to do that. You're not going to allow that to happen. So it's breaking the trends. It's breaking the things that you say to yourself. And you were a part of that. So I just want to thank you for that.
I love it. And thank you for changing that. Like you said, it's breaking chains, right? Chains that we don't, chains, 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 breaking the chains that are in our mind that we may have been told or taught or not even, consciously understand. So yes, thank you for that. And like you said, being around the people, BWC, oh my gosh, it just really helps when you see other people doing it. So thank you so much for that. Erica, did you want, yes, go ahead, Maria.
So I just want to say, I want to piggyback off what Trisha said. I started out in life, I was a teacher in 1992, became a teacher, started making money. I bought my little car, not a ton of money. Yeah, I was a teacher, I was a math teacher, whatever. but I still was my money. It was more than making my working in a clothing store money. It was like, to me, it was a significant amount. So then I became a realtor because I thought I wanted to be a real estate lawyer. And so I said, let me get my feet wet, become a realtor. So now I have two incomes, two good incomes. One was spent on vacation, the real estate money. Two was being saved. I get married. I then end up in a divorce, and I can't feed my kids. I couldn't feed my kids. I was like, I felt horrible. I felt worthless. I'm like, what do they need me for? All that stuff. So you kind of like touched my soul when you said people, I don't even want to say it because I don't want that to resonate in people's heads. What happened was I had to have an entire relationship with myself. I had to go back and think about all the things that make me worthy, all the things that make me special. And two of the things were the boys we made together. And then my nonna, who ended up passing away in 2014. And so I had to think about that. And purpose, people use the word why. I like the word purpose. It's deeper. It's more relationship minded with God for me. So I had to think about all those things. Currently, I'm not going to brag, but I'm bragging. This year, 2026, I now am the owner of a holding company. I have 3 companies.
Woo!
And 2 real estate offices under one of those companies. This from a girl who would wake up in the morning saying, why am I here? So I had to, surround myself by amazing humans. I've been in BWC since March of 2021. My life has changed. I went in spaces. Patty, also, I'm looking at you. I'm thinking about the lemonade stand. I'm thinking about my relationship with God. I'm thinking about people in my life. Tina, you, absolutely. So I don't want to start naming people. There's just too many. What we need to do is not develop the relationship with your finances, because once they go, 2008 crash, people, that was, once the money goes, you have to think about how to adjust your sales so you can rebuild yourself and know that the reason you're here is because there's a reason you're here. And you might have to do some work to figure out why the heck you're here. And so, you know what? Lift those weights and lift that mindset shift, make it happen, because you are here for a reason. And maybe you're just here for that smile when you open the door for that person that wasn't smiling, and that smile you gave that cost nothing made a difference in someone's life. That could be the reason you're here. So keep smiling and keep pushing through, because I'm going to tell you something. Finances do not define you or me. And that doesn't mean I'm a better person, that because now I have these things that I mentioned. Those are things. The best things in life are not things.
Yes.
Just remember that.
Maria, I'm not going to let you go without giving us one tip. There's someone listening right now and they're like, wow, I don't know, I feel it. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. But can you think of one thing that you can share with the people listening to empower them, inspire them to shift their mindset when it comes to money? Scarcity mindset, like, oh, I'm going to be like this for the rest of my life. Or can you give your tip?
Well, say that you're going to be like this for the rest of your life. You're going to prove yourself right. Stop saying it. Start choosing your words. Speak favor over yourself. And even if it is just, I make people smile. I mean, honestly, it doesn't have to be tied to money. Make people smile. You can't frown and smile at the same time. Your energy when you frown is low. Your energy when you smile is high. Keep that higher energy, because the things you need to do have nothing to do with money. Nothing. They have to do with your energy level, your vibration, your conversation with yourself, the conversation. Catch yourself. Every time you keep saying, you say things that stay in the future, keep you in the, I'm trying, I'm working on it. No, I'm working on it is in the present, actually. But I'm trying, that's an excuse. I'm doing. I'm doing it. And my vitamin power is going to be amazing soon. I'm working on it. I'm adding creatine. I said that before. Why? Because I learned that for women over 50, creatine's a good thing. And I can't tell you all the reasons why, because I don't remember them right now. But really, it's not a mind shift, it's a word shift.
Love it. Love it. You guys heard her word shift. So many things she said. First of all, when she was talking about the future and the present and the past, if you're living in the past, you're thinking about the past all the time, right? I get stuck sometimes in Facebook memories. You can get depressed if you're living in the past all the time. If you're thinking about the future too much, you're going to be anxious and so just be present with what you want. And then the last thing I want to share in regards to money, which helped me so much, do not be afraid of the numbers. Data is data is data. I used to be that person. I didn't want to look at my bills. I didn't want to look at the money. I would just work, and just let the money pour into the bank account. Just money pour in. I didn't want to look. But then I realized data is so important. And I think it was last month, I said, okay, Tina, write down your numbers. How much do you need to make for this month? I put down how much I needed and then how much I wanted to make. I just put it out there because I said, you know what, Tina, how is God going to give you something if you don't tell him what you want or what you need? So I put it down. And then the beginning of January, I looked at my numbers and I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. I actually hit the goal number that I wanted to and didn't even realize it. So I want to invite you, when it comes to money with something that you want, write down what you want, put another zero behind it, double it, triple it, I don't care. Put it out there, but you have to know your numbers. Erica, I didn't forget about you, but we're going to move on to the next topic. If you're just tuning in, I am Tina, life and health coach. We're talking about habit change. We started off with some myths in regards to habits. We talked about fitness. We talked about money. Now we're going to talk about relationships. And the most important relationship I want to talk about is that one with yourself. Because if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, there's no possible way you can be good for anybody else, right? And I tend to gravitate towards people that inspire me, that empower me, that I can grow from, right? That's why when I heard Amelia talking, I was like, oh my gosh. When I hear Ramon, I'm like, oh my gosh, right? All these speakers. And it's because I want to feel better. So unfortunately, I wish it wasn't this way. I do a lot of things from what I feel. If it doesn't feel good, I got to get out of there. I got to be out, right? But when it comes to the relationship with myself, first of all, let's make it clear. What type of relationship do I want to have with myself? Well, first of all, I want to be confident, powerful, strong, and I don't want to need. And when I say need, I mean like, because in the past, there was a point where I felt I needed a man in my life. I felt I needed to have someone to talk to or friends all the time. Yes, I need that, but I don't want it where in the past where I used to be, where I felt like I couldn't breathe because I was so sad or so depressed. The only person I really want to need is God, in my opinion. So I have to make that clear for me. Hi, Joyce, over there on Instagram, girlfriend. Make it clear what you want when it comes to habit change. Second thing, make it obvious, okay? So if I make it obvious for me, first thing in the morning, before I even get out of bed, I pick up my phone and I listen to my devotional. It's one that I listen to on YouTube. And I set my alarm about 15 to 30 minutes earlier than I actually want to get out of bed. So this morning I set my alarm for 5:30 because I wanted to be out the door by like 6, right? Make it obvious. Make it easy and simple. No matter what it is that you want to do, whether it's your fitness, your finances, or your relationships, make little tiny baby steps. For myself, I have to give myself a lot of grace because I'm very, very hard on myself when it comes to a lot of things, when it comes to the fitness, when it comes to my relationships, being a friend, all that sort of thing, because I try to be and do everything. So in regards to relationships, habit change, anyone want to jump in? I want to give some space. Erica, I know you came up. I don't know if you're still up here. Anyone want to share their thoughts on habit change in regards to relationships before I jump in? Oh, I see a hand up there. Invite to speak. There you go. All right. So when it comes to relationships, I'm trying to think if there was a relationship that I wanted to change that I actually changed. There are a lot of relationships that I would like to change. They haven't changed completely yet. One major relationship, I talk about this all the time, is the relationship with my sister. I want to be closer to my sister and have a better relationship with her. So what do I have to do? I have to work on it, right? I have to make little tiny baby steps. Oh, I got one. My mother, the relationship with my mother. I wanted to get closer with my mom. So I don't know how long it's been, but I purposely said every single day I'm going to call her for 7 minutes. Why did I choose 7 minutes? Because 7 is my favorite number. And every single day, I'm like, I'm going to call her for 7 minutes. And that was a habit change that I made. And then something happened and I got mad at her and she didn't even notice, guys. Am I the only one who, like, you think you're doing something and the person doesn't even recognize it? I was mad. So I just stopped calling her. I'm like, I'm not calling her. She didn't even notice. But then, I'm like, okay, I got to get back to my 7 minutes. So every day, that is a change that I made because I realize we are not promised tomorrow, right? If you guys don't know, February 26th will mark 10 years that my 21-year-old son was murdered. So I know better than anyone else how important time and relationships are because that person may be gone. And it doesn't even have to be death, right? That's the extreme of it all. Let's not even go to the extreme. We can go before the extreme because before that, there were many relationships in my life that came and went. Again, I'm that person. If I'm in an environment and it doesn't bring me joy, if it doesn't bring me happiness, peace, I'm out the door. It could be a job, right? There was probably only one job that I actually kept, even though I hated it. And I remember I'd call the job, I was Dish Network. And I did telemarketing there and I would call it the slave ship. I'm like, I'm going to the slave ship. But I kept it because I had 2 kids and one was, they were both in high school and, money was tight. So I stayed there. But eventually I left, fired / quit, whatever you want to call it. But the habit change was that I needed something different, right? The relationships for me have to be strong. They have to bring joy to me. And I think of my life, being 53, the people that have come and gone in my life. And that's why I think I love social media so much is because I stay connected to certain people. And what I found for me, when I'm in a certain season with people, and we've heard it before, right? People come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. Think of it like a tree. You've got this tree and they've got roots that are planted down into the ground super, super deep. And you don't know who's going to be with you forever. Right? I remember when I moved from Jersey, I'm a Jersey girl. I never in a million years thought I would move from New Jersey. I'm so glad I did because I love the warm weather here in Florida, but I never thought I would leave New Jersey. And it was probably 3 to 6 months. I knew I was going to leave. And I didn't tell anyone. And the last month before I left, I did a video vlog of my getting ready to move. And I would make videos and I would meet up with certain friends. Hi, Hannah over there on Facebook. I love you, girl. I would have meetups with certain friends because I have different communities, right? I have my church community. I had my gym community where I taught classes. I had my races community, people that I ran with. I had my Arbonne community. I had friends from my children's school, like a bunch of different pockets of friends that I had. And in my mind, I remember the biggest cry was when I was leaving my girlfriend, Marquita. I was like crying like a man. And she's looking at me. She wasn't crying at all. She's a woman of a certain age. She was just like, and I'm just crying like, I'm going to miss you so much. Crying. And it's wild because the people that I thought I would stay closely connected to, I didn't. It was a total different set of people that I stayed connected to. And I say this to say is you don't know when someone's not going to be in your life, whether they move away, whether they get into a different relationship, but it's your job to cultivate, keep, understand that relationships change. It's not to say you're not going to be friends anymore. They just kind of change, right? And the cool thing about that is you grow as an individual. Think of a snake, how they lose one set of skin, or a butterfly, right? And then they turn into something absolutely beautiful, to something new and different. So the friends I had in the past were still friends. It's just a different type of friendship. So when it comes to that habit change for your relationship, first make it clear, okay, what do I want? What do you want? And then, my friends, you have to share what you want. People cannot read your mind. Your friends can't read your mind. Yes, you may be close, cookie crunch, like cookies and cream, ice cream, my favorite ice cream. Man, I haven't had cookies and cream in a long time. Anyway, sorry, back to the point. Make it clear the type of relationship you want. You know what? I love what we have right here. And I noticed things are changing, things are shifting. Ever since you got that new boyfriend, we don't hang out like we used to, blah, 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 blah. Have an open, honest conversation with that person, right? Make it clear what you want. And then once you realize, then you have the facts, right? Stop making up stuff in your head. I am the biggest storyteller in the world. Woo! I can make a story up, guys. In my head, this person did this and they said that and they're doing this and da, 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 and none of it's true, right? So stop making up the stories in the head. If you don't know, ask the person. If you can't ask the person, then just let it go, right? Make it clear how you want that relationship to look. Well, you know what? In this relationship, I expect to hear from you at least once a week. I need to talk to you 2 times a day. I need this, whatever. And then you have to set your boundaries, right? How you want to be spoken to, when you want to be spoken to. The one person who taught me boundaries about relationships the most was my daughter, right? And I'm going to show you guys. So if you have not gotten this book yet, this is a book that I wrote. It's called No More Traumedy. It shares a little bit of my story and how I got through my traumedy. And one of the chapters my daughter wrote, and I didn't learn these things until I actually read the chapter she wrote. And in the particular chapter, she talked about boundaries. And I never even knew this. She said when my son was murdered, she was pretty much the only person I really talked to because some people, they just don't know how to talk to you, to console you, right? I could not talk to my mother because my mother would cry and that would make me upset because then that didn't work. And there was really no one else I could talk to except my daughter. So the first year, 2, 3, 4, maybe, I was always calling her, dumping on her. And she said there was a point in our relationship where she was just going to cut me because she could not physically, mentally take it anymore. And I remember we had a conversation one night and she says, Ma, because we did a lot of therapy. She did all sorts of stuff. We had a conversation. I remember it was in my sister's garage with her husband. And she shared with me, she said, I just want to share these things with you. I don't need an apology. I don't need you to explain. She told me how she felt. And then she would say, and don't call me early in the morning because she lives in LA. That's a 3-hour time change, with something negative or something not positive or something, like blah. Because remember, if it's 12 o'clock, if it's 7 o'clock here or 8 o'clock here, 3 hours earlier. So if I'm calling her, she's literally just getting out of bed. So in relationships, it's very important that you have those boundaries. You make it clear the type of relationship you want, and then make it obvious, right? Make it obvious, make it easy, make it simple. Maybe you set an alarm on your phone. Here you go, guys. I do this all the time. I do this in all my relationships. I love to plan stuff. So I'm always planning a trip, right? Like, for example, last month, big kudos to January. Woo, woo. By the way, this is February, Black History Month. Super excited about that. But January was a lot for me, right? My daughter debuted her show. If you didn't get a chance to watch it yet, Trainer Games on Amazon Prime. And as a mom, you want to be there for your child, right? She had a watch party, premieres in LA. That's where she is. And we also went to Bermuda for a race that we did. So pretty much January consisted of me going to Los Angeles to support her with her watch party, which was absolutely amazing. Even though I did a little bit of everything from moving chairs to making food to you name it. My mother came there as well. And then the following week, I went to Bermuda where we had a watch party there and us together, again, building relationships. We decided we were going to do this race together. What did that do? That built relationships for us. It was the first time she ever did a race. I had done this race before. Friday night, we did a 1 mile. Saturday, we did a 10K. And then Sunday, we did a half marathon. Can I say, so much fun? Oh my gosh. The videos, if you go to my Instagram and you'll see the videos of like the next day, how sore we were. We could barely walk. We were like zombies, right? That's building relationships, making appointments. And then after that, we went to New York for a watch party there. Another one, absolutely amazing. So if you want to build great relationships, make plans for them, make it clear, make it obvious. Come on up here, Laura. So I'm going to wrap up everything. If anyone wants to share their thoughts or comments, if you're just chiming in, I am Tina. We're talking about habit change. We talked about the myths of habit change. The myths we said is all you have to do is break it. Second thing, it takes 21 days to break it. And the third one, you can just hope it. And then I shared with you the 3 things you can do on how to break a habit change. And if you didn't hear me in the beginning, this segment today has been inspired by my pastor, Pastor Christopher from Crossover Church in Tampa, Florida. And the 3 things that you can do to change a habit: first of all, make it clear. Secondly, make it obvious. And third, make it easy, small steps. We talked about fitness. As I mentioned, this month we're launching our 4-week challenge. You can hit me up if you want to be on the wait list. It's a 4-week challenge to transform your mind, your body, your soul. And if you want to eliminate 8 to 15 pounds, depending on the person, we can make that happen. And relationships and finance. All right. On mic, if you want to share your thoughts or comments about today's comment, I would love to hear from you. Hi, Julie. Welcome to the building. I'm scrolling through now. And if no one has anything to share, that is quite all right, because I can end with one story about habit change, that the future, right? That I want to talk about, different habits that I want to make, because as I move into this new season of my life, and I say, ooh, that's weird. I moved on my camera and the camera changed. This new season of my life, new things have to happen. And as I mentioned, I was speaking to my aunt this morning, and I was saying how we were talking about the importance of routines, how routines, rituals, strategies, and things like that can just really help your nervous system, right? I don't know about you, but I love peace. I love happiness. I just want joy all the time. And I say this to each and every one of you. If something in your life does not bring you joy, just let it go. There's so many other things that you can do that bring you joy. And maybe you're like, I don't know what brings me joy. Then try different things, right? I know playing pool brings me joy. I know smiling, laughing brings me joy. Listen to a comedy show, right? For me, exercise brings me joy. Something about that. Being around smart people, uplifting, reading, building up the space in my head, that brings me joy as well. In our community, by the way, it's virtual and it's in person. So if you're listening to my voice and you're like, I kind of like what she's saying, she sounds kind of cool. Well, guess what, guys? There's more of me. There is a full community of people, and we're all different. That's what I love about it, right? Different sizes, ages, shapes, all different things that can empower you to be the best you that you can be, because I never want to change anyone. Perhaps be better of what you are, but never change completely who you are, because I believe everyone is special in their own way. God has gifted you, right, with your talents and all that sort of stuff. So that's super, super important. When you come through our community, we have online fitness classes, we have in-person fitness classes. And my why is to inspire women to live with faith, confidence, and health by teaching them how to transform their mind, their body, and their soul, right? Love people where they are and encourage them to grow. That's what Renee said right there, right? And I'm teaching what I wish I would have known 10, 15, 20 years ago, because there's no reason why we all just can't have joy every single day. I was speaking to a therapist here in the office, and I said something to him about joy and happiness, how you feel. And he says, I have joy every day, every minute of the day. You, my friends, are in control of how you feel, of how you look, right? So why not feel joyous? Like, I think it was Maria or Trisha or someone said, when you're smiling, it makes you feel good. It makes you look good. It makes you feel better, right? With that being said, I am Tina. Thank you for tuning in today. If you have not already, do me a favor. Go over to YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called I Am Stars Teen. If you missed some of this segment, it is recorded. It is over there. We're going to be doing our 4-week challenge the end of February. Sign up for the wait list so you can get more information for that. I think I'm finished with you guys today. I'm going to say goodbye over here on Instagram. Goodbye, Instagram. And then I'm going to say goodbye over here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube.